Hello everybody, welcome back to Fox's Best Laid Plans, the planner channel constantly asking which planet is making me feel like garbage, and then reminding myself that it's probably the Earth. Hello everybody. How's your eclipse week treating you? Do you feel just like maybe you need to go to a remote location and not talk to any humans for a few days because your emotions are in your emotions, right? Okay, hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Fox. We're doing planner things today. It's eclipse week. Monday was the eclipse. Today is Thursday because that's when we plan sometimes, when things are... The universe is universing is what we're gonna call it here. So we went away on a trip for the eclipse. I will talk about that while I'm doing my planner, but this was last week. So I did 2 weeks of planner spreads with eclipse kits. So this was the first one, and this was really cute. It's like a darker theme. This week we're doing this one from Shine Sticker Studios? Yeah. This is from Shine Sticker Studio. It's a smaller kit. Their kits are adorable, but they are a little bit smaller. So they're 3 pages. They're like a mini kit, I guess. So I think I'm probably going to have to supplement some stuff because these are the only boxes that I have. I think I'm going to have to supplement some stuff from last week's kit, which is fine. I have plenty of stickers left on that. So let's pull that out of the trash like we didn't just put it in there. We have some stickers left. It doesn't exactly match, but it'll be fine. It's good enough, y'all. We're planning on a Thursday. Does it even really matter anymore? Okay, there's my weekly update. And here we are. We're planning the week of Monday, April 8th through Sunday, April 14th. Today on Thursday, April 11th, because why not? I have 22 minutes to plan. So let's make this happen. Okay, we got 2 kinds of stickers here. Which one should we do at the bottom here? Solar eclipse. Let's do this one, okay. So yeah, Monday was the eclipse. We went up to the Finger Lakes because I want any excuse that I can to go to the Finger Lakes. We did a family trip, which was really nice. My mom, obviously my mom, she comes everywhere with us. Me, husband, and my mom, the dogs. And then my aunt and uncle and my 2 cousins and my cousin's wife. And so there were 8 of us. And it was really great. Oh my God, I can't reach my thingy. It was really nice, and like we haven't ever done a trip together before, so that was really fun. And like we rented this beautiful lake house on Canandaigua because Canandaigua was in the path of totality. Ooh, look, that matches perfectly. Oh, this washi tape here is from Cognitive Surplus, which is where I get all of my bullet journals from. You see, have you seen my bullet journals ever? These are the ones that I use now. That I used to use Scribbles That Matter, and then the paper got too thick, and I'm not a thick paper person. So now I use these. How funny is this, though? This was the one I picked for the start of the year, not even paying attention. Eclipse of the Sun is right on the back of it, so that was funny. But what's not funny is that we had total cloud cover on Canandaigua Lake. It was just... So Western New York had a rough time. Basically, okay, April. Let's talk about the month of April. The weather in April is bullshit. As Prince once wisely told us, sometimes it snows in April. And you never know what you're going to get for April weather because April showers are real. And in Pittsburgh, April showers were aggressive so far this year. Like literally, if you watched last week's vlog, you heard about it. Things just were flooded. Like they were just flooded. That's just how it went. And the city like didn't shut down. We were still expected to go places and do things. But like you really couldn't because things were shut down. So yeah, the April showers were quite aggressive. So when you're planning a trip like this long in advance, so I had been ever since 2017 eclipse, which was majestic. We saw that down in Great Smoky Mountains National Park, which is in Tennessee. And that eclipse was in August. Are you okay? Okay. I thought husband fell out of bed, but he just dropped his phone. We're good. So we went to Great Smoky Mountains National Park, which is in Tennessee, and it was August. So like pretty decent to predict that the weather in August in Tennessee will be okay. Like, not 100% guarantee. It could have rained, I guess. But like, yeah, not a bad chance. This year, the eclipse was going through all these like here's the funny thing. It was going through Western New York, well, through lots of New York. It was going through Indianapolis, Indiana, Illinois, Ohio. So basically, like, the first week of April, it could still be snowing in any of these locations, right? Then it was going up into New England. Okay, having lived in New England in the springtime, well, I guess I moved there in May. Well, the last week of April. I think I moved there April 28th or 29th. So, very end of April. We had snow on Memorial Day weekend when I lived in Boston, okay? So, I wasn't gonna take a chance and go to New England, especially when it's like gonna be a 9+ hour drive. So we could go to Ohio. So we looked at, first of all, Cuyahoga Valley National Park was in the path of totality, and I do love it there. There was no lodging that was close by, like in the park. I've been there, but we've only ever like, you know, we've stayed somewhere else and then driven there. So I don't know, maybe they don't have park lodging, but there was nowhere to stay that everywhere we would have gone, we would have had to drive. In 2017, when my mom and I came to Great Smoky Mountains National Park, we stayed in Gatlinburg, which is the town closest outside the Tennessee portion of Great Smoky Mountains goes Tennessee and North Carolina. And so we stayed in Gatlinburg, which is the little town there, which is a weird, if you've ever been to Gatlinburg, it's just, vibes are weird. It's like a beach town. It's like Wildwood, New Jersey, but without the beach. But it has all the same like little, you know, boardwalk style shops and ice cream places and like weird mini golfs and that kind of stuff. So it was, vibes were very weird, but it was cool. And we got to drive through Pigeon Forge and see, we didn't get to go to Dollywood, but we got to see where Dollywood is. So anyway, the problem was, it was, the eclipse was on a, I want to say the eclipse was like on a Monday. I can't remember the days right now, but it was like, whatever day it was, I had to be at work the next day. So we drove down a couple days before, stayed overnight, and then we drove, like we watched the eclipse at the park, and then we drove home. Now there was nowhere to stay there, so we stayed in Gatlinburg, so we had to drive in. So you were like sitting there waiting to get in. We went in super early and just like sat in the sun all day, which one of my top 5 worst sunburns of my life accidentally. I love how when I get sunburned, it's always after I have applied sunscreen and tried my best. If I forget to apply sunscreen, I never get burned. If I'm diligent about it, that's the day the sun is like, I was too strong for your sunscreen. I don't understand it. Why am I like this? Ooh, look, I have these cute little things. I could have used these. I don't know why I didn't. I might still use them, we'll see. All right, so this is the big one. This is going right here. Oh, speaking of which, I gotta download my Gowild. Just made me think of it. I got to download my Gowild kit for next week. So, I guess I'll do the road trip. This one, like, these go together. Technically, we drove home on Tuesday, so that'll be the road trip one will be here. So anyway, so we had to leave immediately after because I had to be at work. I feel like I had like a 13-hour shift the next day. Like, I should go back and look at my historical notes. I'm sure there's a live journal entry about the struggle. Actually, pause for a moment. Sunday to Monday. Okay, so the eclipse was on a Monday. That's weird that both eclipses were on Mondays. That's very weird. It's also weird that there were 2 eclipses in North America within that amount of time of each other, within 7 years of each other, because like this is a rare occasion. I'm briefly logging on to my Google Calendar. Let's see. I preface this by saying I don't have enough time to do everything, and then I'm like, let me go back and see. Yeah, I worked an 11-hour shift the next day. That's what I thought. Okay. So, what we did, I had a 5K with some of my friends. My one friend was training for her very first 5K. So we did that on Saturday morning. And then my mom and I drove like halfway to Tennessee and stayed overnight in like Virginia or something. And then the next morning on Sunday, we drove the rest of the way to Gatlinburg, stayed in Gatlinburg Sunday night. Monday morning, got up, drove to the park to go to see the eclipse, saw the eclipse, got in our car and drove home, and the traffic was terrible. That's how I started telling you this whole long ass story. The traffic was horrible. And so this year I was like, we are going somewhere that we can just sit there at our place and see everything, and we are not driving. So that's how I got a place in the lake. Because I looked at Cuyahoga Falls. Cuyahoga Falls looked beautiful. However, no place, you would have to drive. And I was like, I just don't want to do that again. I want to just like relax, enjoy it. and be done, you know? So we ended up going to, the other places we looked at Erie, but Erie's weather is like, I mean, it could snow like a foot of snow very easily. And Erie again, like very scenic little weekend getaway kind of town. And there's not really anything that's like on the water. I wanted something we could like see scenic stuff, you know? I just wanted it to be scenic. That's all I wanted. And so we ended up going to any of these places. It could have rained. If we had gone to New England, it could have snowed. Like, so we ended up choosing Canandaigua Lake in the Finger Lakes because I love the Finger Lakes. And we were like, this will be perfect. This will be the best that we can do here. And it's okay. And it was fine. However, let's put my work stuff in here. So let's put, these are a little bit bigger than I wanted, but that's okay. It was supposed to rain all day. We got there on Friday. It was supposed to rain all day Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday and Monday were supposed to be very nice. Well, it was gorgeous on Saturday. It did rain on Friday, but not like terribly. But then it was gorgeous all day Saturday. I mean, just like beautiful perfection. Sunday, it was nice, but it was like starting to get into that like Los Angeles style sunny where like it's so sunny that it almost looks like gray again because there weren't very many clouds. And then Monday, it was completely cloud covered with no sun. Like, I'll show you a picture of what the weather was on Saturday. Perfect. Bright blue sky with big fluffy clouds. Would have been amazing for the eclipse because we would have had some cloud cover to make like atmosphere look cool, but we would have been able to see the sun. As it turned out, we could not see the sun. We saw one little peek of the sun and that was all we got. So kind of shitty. And the thing was, my mom and I had seen Totality in 2017 and it was amazing. And so we were like hyping this up to the rest of the fam, like, y'all can't wait. You're going to be so excited. You're going to be stoked. And then it was not that. However, the people in our party who had not been to a Totality before were like, dude, that was so cool. So that's the good thing. They were all super impressed still. Not that we weren't impressed, because what happens is when you're in Totality, it gets pitch black. Like, it gets so dark. You're going to see it in my vlog for this week. But it gets nighttime. Like, it just goes like, it's getting darker, it's getting darker. And if you couldn't really tell at first, you would look up at the sky and then look around you. If you did that, if you like adjusted your vision, looked up and then looked around, you'd be like, whoa, it's getting dark. Whoa, it's getting dark. And then all of a sudden, when Totality hits, it's just like, boom, instant nighttime. Which is cool because that's not really how nighttime works. You know, like, it gradually gets darker and darker and darker and darker and darker and darker, and then it's dark. This is like, it's kind of getting darker, kind of getting darker. You can tell that it's getting a little bit, oh my God, it's dark. That's how Totality is. So that part of it is so cool. And like, I don't know. I was up in my emotions and then I had a couple of friends and I think they were like trying, I don't know what they were trying to be helpful or just like whatever. And they were like, oh, you should have stayed here in Pittsburgh. We had great weather for it. And I was like, yeah, but you didn't have Totality. And like, it is different. Even though we couldn't see the corona from where we were because of the cloud cover, that nighttime feeling and like I don't know, and then the wind coming in and it cools off and you get this like whoosh, you're in darkness, and then like woo, it all of a sudden gets lighter, like, and I don't know, it's just so freaking cool. So all of this to say, it was a cool event. It was not exactly what we had hoped for, but it was really cool. And everybody was like, they were happy with it, I think. I think they were. And we had a wonderful weekend regardless. And that's what my mom was saying. She was like, you know, the two of us have seen Totality before in like a cloudless sky. And so we know what it was and what we missed. She's like, but if we had gone somewhere else, she's like, if we had gone to Cuyahoga Valley, what would we have done? Like, there weren't wineries there, you know, we couldn't just sit on the lake and just enjoy the lake. Like, I don't know. So I'm trying to be like, uh-oh, these pens. Okay, we're okay. Whoa, no, we're not. These pens are a little suspect on this shiny. I've used these kits before, haven't I? It was 3:18 p.m. was Totality. That was the other thing. We were like between the two places. So we were on Canandaigua. So we were between like Buffalo, Rochester, and Syracuse. And so it was hard to tell like when exactly our totality would be, since we couldn't see it exactly, but we could feel the, the darkness came over, but you couldn't see like, oh, we're almost there, we're almost there, we're almost there, like you could whenever you could see the actual sun coming through. So anyway, I think it was very cool. And my mom was right. She was like, we had a beautiful place. We had this gorgeous view of the lake the entire time. We got the most amazing sunsets 2 nights. We got to go to wineries. It was so funny. My cousin Kyle had never been to a wine tasting, and I don't think that Max and Morgan had ever been to a wine tasting at a winery. I think they've done like tastings like at restaurants or something like that, and they had never been to an actual like seated guided wine tasting. So we got to take them for those, and then my mom and Kyle accidentally like had a little too much wine at the one winery, and then it was hilarious. We got some funny pictures, and like, I don't know, we had a great time. We really did. But I was just like up in my emotions a little bit because I was like, we didn't get to see the corona. And then like to add insult to injury, like first of all, like I said, people saying like, you should have stayed in Pittsburgh. And I was like, yeah, but you got a cool view of the sun, but you didn't get that like emotional atmospheric part, So what was I doing? I was editing vlog. But it was a very chill vacation for me, if y'all know how I vacate. This was not the typical vacation, so I think I did well being chill and like, doing my best. Had a good time. But it was a lot of fun to be with family, and like we had a great time, and we've never done a family trip like that, so that was like really exciting too. And I'm looking on the bright side, getting over my FOMO, because I did have quite a bit of FOMO. And I'm having some FOMO right now because I really don't have enough stickers for what I need, and I'm just realizing it now. So I have to like cut this off shortly anyway because I have to start getting ready for work. Oh, good God. I have made decisions, and they were not good. Oh, there's no way I'm going to fit this. Oh, I did. I did kind of fit it. We have our inventory today, which is why I'm like stressing. So it was like Tuesday, I don't know what it is. Okay, we go to the Finger Lakes at least once a year. Some years we've gone twice. And it's only like 4.5 to 5 hour drive, depending on which lake you're on and whatever. So it was like 4:45 from where we were staying because we made a couple stops. It takes so long. Like, it takes so long. There are drives that are longer that take less time. Like, I don't know how to describe it. So we were just like in the car for what felt like forever on Tuesday. Got home, had no energy, and then I was like, I know I have stuff to do. We did unpack our clothes and our suitcases for the most part, but it's just been, I didn't have any energy that night, and I don't know. The other thing is I was hoping to get some writing done while we were on the trip, and I really did not. Like, I just didn't. And I did get a lot of photos edited because that was nice. Like, we were all just like hanging out at the dining room table. So I had my computer out, so I was working on photos while we were all just hanging out and talking. And like, we did a puzzle, which was super fun. Like, we had a great time. Like, it was so nice. And like, I am so grateful that our family gets along as well as we do, because like there was no drama. Like, there was no, I don't know. We all like agree politically, which is an important thing, I think, to get along for a long trip like that. Kind of on different schedules. Like, everybody else is kind of a night owl and I am the morning person, so I was like the annoying one up early. And the only bad thing about Canandaigua, we've never stayed on Canandaigua before, so the Finger Lakes are like, they all go in this little like kind of half moon shape. They are like vertical-ish like this, but in this little arc there. And Canandaigua, so Cayuga and Seneca and Cayuga are like the 3 primary ones, especially for wineries. But they're the most populated, the most developed, have the most things to do. And then Canandaigua is the one directly to the west of Cayuga. And it's not quite as built up. So they do have some wineries. So Heron Hill, which is one of our favorite Finger Lakes wineries, that does the Eclipse wine line. They have a tasting room on Canandaigua. They used to have one on Seneca, Cayuga, and Canandaigua. And the Seneca one has since closed, they told us. But we haven't been to all 3 yet. And we were like, this is completing the trilogy. We're so excited. So, but normally, like when we stay in Cayuga or Seneca, that's where we usually stay, either on the east side of Cayuga or the west side of Seneca, so you can get between the lakes pretty easily. When we stay there, like, I know my way around, and there's like a bakery that I go to that opens at like 6 in the morning. Like, I know where the grocery store is. I can go running there. Everything's like very close by, and I know where I'm going. Canandaigua, we were on like a cliff. Like, we had a long walk down to the beach to get to the lake. And then the road there did not really have a shoulder, so I didn't feel safe running there. And then also we had this like switchbacks up the driveway. Like that area is being developed where the house was that we were staying. They were building a new house right next door. So I'm assuming at some point this will be paved and it'll be easier to get up and down. But I was like, I don't really want to just go up this to go somewhere. And the bakeries didn't open until like later, like 10 or 11 in the morning. So my like little Finger Lakes traditions that I normally do, I couldn't do all of them. So that was kind of a bummer, but it was beautiful there. And we did get to go to 2 wineries that I'd never been, well, Heron Hill I've been to, but not that location. And the other one was called Inspire More, and that was really cute. We met a lot of cool people, like everybody was excited about the eclipse, so it was a good time. So, but anyway, now it's back to reality. And I had hoped to do some writing, but I couldn't find a coffee shop that was like close by enough to go get away and write. And I did go down to the lake and I brought my notebook and I was working a little bit, but then it got cold and I couldn't feel my hands. So these are the struggles that I had, but obviously I have a lot more to fill out in here. Coming up this weekend, I don't really know what's going on. There's a dance night I would like to go to tomorrow night if I have the energy. And then I have my long run. I'm going to try to do it on Saturday after work. I have 13 miles because it's a cutback week. And the weather looks much better on Saturday. We're going to have thunderstorms on Sunday. So I'm going to try to do my long run Saturday, which means Sunday I have some time in the evening and the morning to try to write and try to work on stuff and prep for Go Wild. Because Go Wild is coming up. I leave on the 17th, less than a week. I have to assemble my table mate gifts. I have to pack. I have to make sure I have everything because we're doing like some workshopping stuff. So I'm going to bring scrapbooking supplies. Like I have to get everything organized that I have to bring. So, and I have to go get my second suitcase because we had a second suitcase. The TSA kind of like blew it up. So I have to get a new suitcase. If you're going to Go Wild, the best advice I can give you is bring 2 suitcases. Bring an empty suitcase because you're going to get so much swag to take home with you. Anyway, whoop. That's my cue. I have to get moving and get ready for work. So I will see you all later. I will fill this out more before you see it next. I know this is like bare bones this week, but I hope you enjoyed my discussion of the eclipse. Even though I had some struggles, I'm feeling better about it now. Looking back, like, man, we did have a really cool experience. So thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe if you are new here. And as always, my friends, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And I will see you in my next video.